I'm just kidding. This is a really great dragon. Elemental Barrier, Desiccating Sand, Cloak, and Lightning Resist. Great combination. Necryx is a great setup dragon, and his spell set is designed to really complement each other. Some people ask me, why Lightning Resist? This is due to how Lightning Resist, as soon as you pop out of Cloak, will usually land an attack, and that can be very damaging as you are going across a base. Desiccating Sand is the premier spell on Necryx, and you'll see that by himself he can't defeat this base, but after he sets it up, it's an excellent base for a friend or teammate to really take it out for you. I've fast forwarded this part of the video a little bit so you guys will be able to see the setup happen and then the dragon taking it out. It's important to note that Desiccating Sand can take out 2 to 3 towers at a time with well-placed shots, and that takes a lot of practice. I barely have it down, and I don't feel proficient whatsoever using it. Let's speed up the cleanup process, and as you can see, Necryx does a very good job of setting up for bases. Now, this is on an XP farm, just to highlight a little bit of the spells, what Necryx can do, and as a good conversational point. The most important part about using Necryx, and something that I wanted to highlight in this review, is that setting up base is the most important part. As you can see here, you can see what I left behind, the towers that I sanded, and this is the bread and butter of Necryx. His damage is going to be low. I suggest Rage and Wisdom runes because you want to be able to use Desiccating Sand and Elemental Barrier often, and obviously Cloak. Necryx branch comes with Elemental Barrier, Mythic Rune, and it is very cool and it's very good and it's very interesting, especially depending on how you plan on using Necryx. I've been using Elemental Barrier more and more, and it's a very, very good spell since a lot of bases they rely a lot on elemental damage, and this can be the storms, the fires, the ice shards. Anything that isn't using standard projectiles is going to be using that elemental damage. Alright, so I'm going to fly Necryx here with help of my friend, My Lady K. Thank you for helping me, appreciate you. Taking out this base. Obviously, Necryx can't do it by itself. It's about 2.5 million attack power overall at this point, and I set up the base for her. Elemental Barrier will absorb a portion of the elemental damage that is done. So that means if very little elemental damage is done, you'll recover very little health, but it does mean you still block all the damage. So I slowed down this part so that you guys can see really just how efficient Elemental Barrier can be when combined with Cloak. Personally, when I use Necryx, I like to take out all the blue mages so I can keep using Cloak. Some people like to take out all the mages and a Storm Tower. Depends on how you play, what objective you're trying to get, and it's very good to personalize your playstyle. So if you have to pick between more Rage or putting on an Elemental Barrier rune, you can really figure out what best suits you. After you are done setting up a base, the bases become really simple. Just taking out all the blue mages will mean that Canaris is not going to take any damage whatsoever, and that's extremely helpful for wars. Thank you, Male Lady K, for helping me. I would say Necryx is a great dragon. Get him while he's on discount, and even after he's not on discount, he's going to be very good. He's much better than Spindra, and Kemorak is very rage reliant, which makes this a great alternate for those that are looking for a dragon that can set up a base for wars. This dragon's biggest weakness has to be the damage. Besides being a hunter dragon, thank goodness, he doesn't have a lot of spells that provide damage, as Desiccating Sand will only do 12.5% of the current dragon's maximum HP as damage. So it's not a lot of damage that is going to be produced by him, but that's not what he's used for. He shouldn't be the sweeper dragon. He should be used as a good setup dragon. Highly recommend Necryx as an alternate to Hasuit. Highly recommend it as a good dragon to set up bases, not as a sweeper, but he's a great dragon overall, and you can't really go wrong with him.